Did you know that half of Sweden is walking around with made-up surnames? Not inherited, invented, bought, or handed to a soldier in the ranks by an officer who was sick of the confusion. The real old names, the ones that reach back to the Vikings, to the rune stones, to Odin himself, almost died out. Only a handful survived, and one of these 10 means bear, the exact animal whose skin was worn by the warriors who went insane in battle. Today we break down 10 Swedish surnames, what each one means, how it actually sounds, and which one still carries the true blood of the North. So get comfortable. If one of these 10 is yours, drop it below. And subscribe to Kin and Kingdom. I take apart one bloodline every video. Let's go. First, understand what happened to Swedish surnames. For centuries, a Swede was simply his father's son. Sven Andersson, Sven, son of Anders. His own son would become Svensson. Every generation, a brand new surname. It worked fine, while the country was small. Then there were too many that were the same. Whole villages of Anderssons, Johanssons, Karlssons. In the army, soldiers got mixed up, so officers started handing men new names right there on the parade ground. Skjöld, meaning shield. Rask, meaning quick. Modig, meaning brave. Later, whoever could afford it simply bought themselves a pretty nature name. Birch plus brook, mountain plus meadow. That's how thousands of Lindbergs and Nyströms were born. Out of nothing, out of beautiful words. So Sweden has 3 kinds of surname: the sons, the soldiers, and the bought-up nature. And somewhere among them, the few that still remember the old gods. We go from the bottom up. 10. Andersson. We start with the most common surname in all of Sweden. 1 in 20 Swedes is an Andersson, a Johansson, or a Karlsson. And it's not Andersson, it's Andersson. The double S almost swallowed, the R gone soft. How does your family say it? Andersson means son of Anders, son of Andrew. And the name Anders itself comes from the Greek andros, a man, a warrior. But here's the thing, this name tells you nothing about yourself except your great-grandfather's first name. Not your bloodline, not your land, not your trade. Sweden was so jammed with these sons that in 1901 the government passed a law. Enough, stop breeding identical names, take literally anything else. If you're an Andersson, a little over 100 years ago, your ancestor was simply somebody's son. And that was enough. 9. Lindberg, Lindberg. Lind, the linden tree. Berg, the mountain. Say it Lindberg, with that soft Swedish R beautiful name, and completely invented. It's one of those nature surnames Swedes grabbed by the thousand in the 1800s, so they wouldn't be just another Andersson. Linden plus mountain, birch plus brook, oak plus field. They assembled them like building blocks out of pretty pieces of the landscape. And the linden was no random pick. Under the sacred linden, people gathered, judged, and swore their oaths. It was the tree of the thing, the old assembly of free men. If you're a Lindberg, your ancestor chose who to be. He took a little slice of the forest instead of somebody else's patronymic. 8. Nyström. Nyström, ni, new, ström, a stream, a current. Now here's a trap. It is not Nyström. In Swedish, it's Nyström. Through that the English language never dares to touch. Confess in the comments how you've been saying it. Another assembled name. New stream, pretty and empty. Craftsmen and laborers took names like this. When they moved into the city, they dropped the village patronymic and put on something fresh and ringing. But behind the word ström stands the real Sweden. A country of water, rivers, rapids, waterfalls. They floated timber down them, built mills and forges on them. The current fed you. If you're a Nyström, your ancestor was starting over. New name, new city, new life. 7. Sjöberg. And on this one, everyone breaks. It is spelled Sjöberg, and it sounds like Sjöberg. That opening SJ is a deep Swedish esh that exists nowhere else on Earth, and the you already know. Not a single foreigner gets it right. Try it in the comments. Sjö is a lake, berg, a mountain. The lake mountain. Sweden is 100,000 lakes. Literally, someone counted, and it came to around 100,000. A name with sjö in it is a name from the land of 1,000 reflections. A farmstead wedged between the water and the rock, if you're a Sjöberg, and if you just said it right, you're closer to Sweden than you think. 6. Ekström. Ekström, ek, the oak, strum, the stream again. Ekström, same, To a Scandinavian, the oak is the tree of strength. They built ships from oak, the long ships that reached Greenland, Baghdad, and America. Oak is Thor, it's thunder, it's the thing that does not break. But this one too was almost certainly assembled, oak plus stream, strong and handsome. It was a favorite of men who wanted to sound solid. If you're an Ekström, your ancestor chose the strength of the oak, even if only on paper. 5. Holmberg. Holmberg, Holm, a little island. Berg, a mountain. Holmberg. A holm is a tiny island, a skerry. The entire coast of Sweden is an archipelago of tens of thousands of them. Stockholm itself means log island, a city built on the water. On these little island hills, people hid, defended themselves, raised their farms. Again, often an assembled name. But Holm is an ancient word, a real one, from the same tongue as the sagas. If you're a Holmberg, your name holds a shard of the Swedish skerries, that labyrinth of water and stone. 4. Lindqvist. Lindqvist. Lind, the linden again. Kvist, or kvist, a twig, a branch, a shoot. Lindqvist, another nature build, but with a twist. That kvist is an old spelling with a Q that Swedes stubbornly kept in their surnames long after the language itself dropped the letter. So the very Q in your name is a little fossil, a postcard from the 1800s, a linden twig, a shoot breaking off the tree of assembly, something young growing away from the old root, exactly like the people themselves, changing their names by the thousand. If you're a Lindqvist, you carry a letter that Sweden officially buried, but in you it's still alive. 3. Björk. Björk, just birch, and it's said hard, Björk, that U again, and a soft ending, not by orc. Deeper. The birch is the most Swedish tree there is. White bark, catkins, sweet spring sap. They made everything from it, shoes, boxes, roofing, and they wrote runes on the bark. They beat themselves with birch branches in the sauna and hung them on the house for midsummer, the great turning point of the whole year. Björk is short, clean, and real. Not two words glued together, one ancient word. And yes, the Icelandic singer Björk carries exactly this name. If you're a Björk, your surname is white as birch bark and just as native to the soil. 2. Dahlgren. Dahlgren. Dal, a valley. Gren, a branch. Dahlgren. Gren is a branch, a bough. And there's a beautiful double meaning here, the branch of a tree and the branch of a family. For centuries, Swedes drew their family trees, and the word branch sitting in a surname is, quite literally, your own line splitting off from the common trunk. Valley plus branch, the place where your line grows. It's one of the most bloodline-shaped names on this whole list. It's about the exact thing we do here. If you're a Dahlgren, your name is a branch on the tree. And you are the part still growing. 1. Björn, and the summit. Björn, the bear. Björn, that last hold it. Here it is, the real thing. Not assembled, not bought, not handed out on a parade ground. Björn is one of the oldest Germanic names there is. It is more than 1,000 years old. People were called this before Christianity ever reached Sweden, before the Greek Andersson arrived. To a Scandinavian, the bear was a sacred animal, the strongest thing in the forest. It walks on 2 legs like a man. It sleeps the whole winter and rises again in spring. They were afraid to say its true name out loud in case they called it, so the word Björn, the brown one, was itself a code, a way around the name. And now the important part. Berserker, berserker, by one reading means bear shirt. The warriors who charged into battle in bear skins, without armor, In a fury, the chroniclers called possession. It was said iron would not bite them. Björn is their animal. And the name lives on, Björnsson, Björn, even Bernard through the same Germanic root. 1,000 years later, a Swede is still naming his son Bear. If you're a Björn, you carry the name of the animal men were afraid to speak aloud. The oldest name on this list, and the wildest. Close. The Vikings are gone. The rune stones are furred with moss. The old gods gave way to one, and the names were shuffled and dealt again. Sons, soldiers, bought up nature, and all of it boarded ships. Between 1850 and 1930, more than 1 million people left Sweden, nearly a quarter of the nation. Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin. Out there, the names were filed down to fit. Sjöberg lost its Ö and became Sjöberg, or just Seaborg. Björk became Björk. Andersson became Andersson with one S. But the birch, the bear, and the lake mountain stayed inside the word. So, which of the 10 is yours? Put it below and tell me how your family says it. The names that come up most I take apart in the next video. Subscribe to Kin and Kingdom and leave a like if you learned something new about your own blood. See you in the next one. And if your name wasn't here, write it and